Hi, I'm Alena Chapman, founder of Soul Manifesto, and I really wanted to do a vlog about imagination. And I guess the reason why was, guys, we've been through a lot as a nation, and each one of us has been through so much. And I know that a lot of us lost our jobs. I know that a lot of us are we've been stuck in the house with people that we thought we knew, and then we decided we didn't like so much, maybe. That happened to some people, I know. But just a lot of dynamics have hit. Really, we've had 3-4 years of constant drama in one way or another. And this is just like the apex, you would say, the cherry on the top of the sundae. And people are tired. And a lot of us are feeling kind of stuck, especially if we've lost our job and we need money. Okay, so I thought I would put this out there. And no, I'm not offering everybody a job. Although I would love to do that if I could. I really would. But I think in my life, I've had some ups and downs, some real serious ups and downs. I think that's why I do what I do. Because each of them I had to learn how to get through those challenges in the best way with a higher perception and a higher perspective. And I think that one of the biggest tools that has helped me the most in any situation is my imagination. And because my imagination, even when the chips were all down, my imagination would say, well, what if we tried this? Or why not try that? Or why not just reach out here? Or what's the first step I need to do? And how do I and then just brainstorm. And it never kept me in a box. And that's where that box, I like to call the death box. Very dramatic, I know. Because it's the box that keeps us confined and it keeps us stuck. And so I'm without a job and I don't have money and I am in this box. I have to step out of the box. And what's the key to step out of that box? Imagination. Because imagination links you up to that fantastic universe. Imagination opens the door. It says, okay, no, we can open up this flap. We don't have to be stuck here. We can open this one up, or we can open this one up. Oh my gosh, there's a window over here. Oh my gosh, there's a door over here. And we can go out any of those areas because we have imagination. And we don't have to be practical. Although practicality can come in somewhere, not really. I've never found myself to be practical. I don't pride myself on being practical. And some people think that's so silly. However, like my parents. However, it's that lack of practicality and that vivid imagination that has gotten me jobs when I needed money and I only had $200 in my pocket, or got me a beautiful apartment when I only didn't have any down payment or anything, or helped me get into the music job I wanted at the time I was in music, or found a writer who was a published author when I first started my book. All this imagination opened the universe to me. And now I want to give it to you. I want to foster your imagination. When I am in a place of helplessness or wanting more or stuck, I always come outside. It helps me get out of my head and just listen. Just listen for a minute. Just close your eyes and listen. Do you hear it? Do you hear the birds? There's a little, I don't know if you can hear this, but there's a rustling through the trees. It's a sunny day. I'm in the shade under the tree. I have my tea, because that's my most favorite drink in the whole wide world. It can be 90 degrees. I still seem to have tea. And I come out here. I come out here and I sit. And I sit with my trees. I either sit directly under the tree or I sit in a nest of trees. And I allow myself to first get quiet, and I love to call it the rhythm of the universe. First, I start with the syncopation of all the birds and whatever else, the wind, the squirrels, whatever I hear in nature. And then I just hear that beautiful heartbeat of the earth. That takes time, but it's fun trying. But then I start to say, all right, so I only have $200 in my pocket. Okay, that's fine. So what do I need? What do I need? I need a job, but do I need any old job? No, I don't need any old job. I need a job that's going to make me money fast first. So what can I do? I'll do almost anything as long as it's not something I don't like. So I'm going to be very open. And I start thinking of how can I get fast cash? And then I think, I could do this, I could do that. And then I go look in the newspaper and see what they have. I've opened the door. That's how I found a job working for Citizens Action Coalition. Hard work. I was going door to door. I saw things that no one in the world should see. However, I also saw some incredible people. I met incredible people. I learned so much about life. I learned how we have to protect our elderly, that we don't always understand what they're living through. I learned a lot about the human condition. I think that was one of the most valuable jobs I've ever had. And I made a lot of money doing it. And I made it fast. When I had to do a choir, I thought, okay, what kind of choir do I want to make? I want to be an artist with that choir. See, I'm letting my imagination. And I think you have to get very calm, like I did, listen to the universe. And then you have to start asking yourself questions. But I call them possibility questions. We don't want questions that are sarcastic. We don't want questions that are downplaying or excuses. We want questions that are like, how can I get a job in music? Let's say that, because that's where I was at. How can I get a job in music? And it's almost like the trees give me the answers. And I know you're probably giggling, or maybe not, but I don't know. I think they're pretty wise plants. And all of a sudden, you know, when I asked that question, I thought, well, you gotta ask. You gotta go ask. And I thought, I've gotta go ask. So who do I ask? I'm gonna ask the colleges. I'm gonna ask the churches. I'm gonna start asking people. Do you see? I didn't sit in my living room and say, oh, I don't have a job. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? No, I'm lost my job. That's wonderful to start, but graduate from that. You have to open up the imagination to graduate from it. I do it every time. When my business wasn't doing so well in the very beginning, I came out here. I said, what is it? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be doing this work? Am I in the right place? And I said, Alena, just open people to you. I just heard that. It came to me in my imagination. It came to me in my mind. It came to me from the trees, from the birds. It doesn't matter. I heard you just have to open. And you just have to allow the voice that you know is true, the universe, to feed through your heart to the people. That's what I heard. And I've been doing it ever since. We have been taught not to use our imagination. I was always called a daydreamer. It was the best gift. And yet people were trying to make it the worst fault. Our imagination is one of the 6 gifts of the Spirit, of our soul. And we have to learn to start using it. I think of the 6 gifts, there's 6 gifts. There's imagination, there's intuition, there's perception, there's reasoning, there's memory, and there's will. Those are the 6 gifts. Now, for me, this is for me, I'm not saying this is for everyone, but the imagination and the intuition, I think, are the key. Because it's when we open our imagination and start listening and trusting the intuition we feel in our bodies that changes our perception about life. If I'm already dreaming of asking all these places for a job in music, and I've already changed my perception from woe is me, I can't find a job in music, and all of a sudden my gift of perception changes to, oh my gosh, there's possibilities. There's 8 colleges here, and there's 1 billion churches. Look at my possibility. Do you see? And my perception changes, my vibration changes, and that affects then my reasoning, how I go about my life, my memories, of course, because the memories turn good, and of course my will. Oh my gosh, I've got now new energy to make everything happen. So see how I think the imagination and the intuition are the key to really opening up the 6 gifts of our spirit? I think if you open up those 2, you have it made. And opening up our imagination, I call it tickling our imagination. And there's 2 ways, and I just told you one. I love it. I love coming out with the trees. These big, strong, beautiful, ages-old wisdom trees. I love it. But the other one is, believe it or not, having fun. When we have fun and we're doing creative things, like when we go do, I'm not saying you have to write a book or be the greatest potter in the whole wide world. I'm saying go out and have fun painting. They have those wine and paint places. We have some pottery classes. We have just plant a plant in the garden. Just get out of your head and into doing something creative. And then allow yourself to dream. What if I was this great architect, landscaper? What would I do? Where would I travel? I'd travel to Europe. I would see all the English gardens. Just allow your mind to go. And I do it all the time. I'm still dying to go to France. I want to go to to the countrysides of France. I want to experience the bread. I want to see their gardens. I want to see their architecture. I want to see how they decorate. I love how they decorate. I'm dying to go there. But I go there all the time in my imagination. You allow your imagination to just dream. Just dream. And then when you want to use it for something, like getting a job, it's been tickled. You've tickled it with all that dreaming. And now you can use it with fun to get what you want in your life. You're never stuck, my dears. You're never, ever stuck. And every time there is any kind of crisis, my dad always taught me there is always opportunity. And how do you reach that opportunity? Your imagination. It's time. On top of that, when you start dreaming, your vibration goes right up. And guess what? You're on the vibration of people and places and things that all show opportunity. You owe it to yourself to get out of the doldrums, out of using the excuses as something to rely on, and start opening up your imagination to a bigger, more wonderful world. You're the only one holding yourself back right now. It's time. I love you all. Please remember, if anything, that spirit is love, not fear, not anger, but love. And love is spirit. Namaste. And check out my Soul Manifesto page. Because this is what we do. We have a Green Terra group where we talk about all this stuff. So check it out. You know, it's free. And I almost forgot. On July 8th, watch that date, we're launching this fabulous program called 7 Day to Reset Your Inner Core Peace. And peace is a great way to foster imagination because you're centered. Your head isn't going all over the place. You're centered. You're calm. And your imagination can go and soar. All right. Namaste, guys. I'll see you at Soul Manifesto. Bye-bye now.